Welcome, Hudson Valley, to this week's edition of In Touch, the public affairs and issues program that runs across Town Square Media of the Hudson Valley radio stations. This is a weekly program, and we invite you or your organization to be a guest on the show. Please contact us if you have an issue or a concern you'd like us to look into, or if you would like to be a guest on In Touch. You can do it a variety of ways. We have our main office line, 845-471-1500. You can also call direct at 845-478-1022. That's my desk line. I'm Patty Quinn, the host for In Touch. And you can also reach us through the radio station you're listening on by using the Text Studio feature on their mobile app or the contact information at their website. Just be sure to put somewhere in the subject that you are trying to reach Patty Quinn and In Touch. This week, we have a special guest host, Conor Walsh, and he is actually going to be speaking with Laurie Woolever. She is the president of the Hyde Park Education Foundation. They've got a big event coming up May 28th through the 30th. Yep, Memorial Day weekend. It's their Field of Honor event that they do annually. Conor and Laurie will be speaking on that. They will also be talking about the effects of COVID and how it's affected the event, and how the event has come back since the pandemic has lessened. And also, they'll be discussing some of the effects on the Hyde Park Education Foundation, and we'll be learning more about the foundation as well. So I now give you, in a pre-recorded interview, your host, Conor Walsh, and Laurie Woolever.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to In Touch. I am Conor Walsh here with Town Square Media, and today I am talking with President of the Hyde Park Education Foundation, lifetime resident and retired teacher from the Hyde Park School District, Laurie Woolever. Laurie, how are you?
I'm great, Conor. It's great to be here. Thank you.
No, really happy to have you. And you guys with the Hyde Park Education Foundation have this really great event coming up for Memorial Day weekend, and we would love to talk about that.
Absolutely.
So can you just give us like a basic idea of what people are expecting? What is the event?
Okay, the event is called the Field of Honor, and it was started after 9/11 in Utah by a company called the Colonial Flag Foundation. And our version of it is a field filled with flags, regular full-size flags. We have at least 250 up, I think. And we do it at the home of Franklin Roosevelt National Historic Site on Route 9 in Hyde Park. We started it in 2018 with just the flags and a theater organ. And we had an opening ceremony, and that was about it. And I said, gee, I think we ought to have something else going on so that it draws more people to the event. So the second year, we added entertainment and a kids tent with kids activities, and it was great. Lots more people came, and then there was COVID, so we tried to schedule it twice more in the middle of things, and it didn't work. But it is going to be Memorial Day weekend. Our opening ceremony is Saturday at 10 o'clock, and it will go from 10 to 5 every day, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Oh, that's really cool. So you said that things started off in Utah in the early 2000s. What was the inspiration that brought it here then?
Well, one of our former presidents, Donna Lackner-Horn, found out about it. I don't know whether it just jumped into her feed on Facebook or whatever, but she found out about it. And there are lots of education foundations around. It's not something that jumps out at you unless you're looking for it. But Red Hook has one, Arlington has one, Millbrook has one. There's a few across the river. Not everybody has one, but most school districts do. And each school district seems to have its kind of signature event fundraiser, whether they have a gala or they have a 10K run or something. And Donna said, Hyde Park just isn't really, I don't think we're really a gala town.
No,
we needed
I'd
something that was different and something that could also play upon our historical, patriotic type flair.
Yeah.
So Donna presented it to the board of the foundation, and we went, oh yeah, this sounds great. So yeah, that's why. That's Hyde. It's thanks to Donna.
Oh, no, that sounds really
Yeah.
cool. And I'm glad that she was able to find it because, this area is just steeped in historical value and especially the
Yeah.
FDR house. And it's a perfect place to be able to have an event like this, just with the rich history, having a president in our backyard, but also the fields. The fields are gorgeous there and a perfect place to be able to do something like this. So you said that you incorporated kids' activities and performers, entertainers of all kinds. So what can people expect at this year's event that's different than what it was like prior to COVID?
Well, actually, this year we're adding something new. It's kind of a story walk.
Tell us more
Where
about
there's
that.
a
That sounds
there's a
interesting.
book. Yeah, a story walk is where you take a book, and I'm not really sure, so correct me or forgive me if I'm wrong. But you take a book and you actually need a couple of copies because you need to cut it up and put it on some sort of a stanchion, that's in the ground, and then you say something about it, and then the people read the book pages, and then you somehow or other direct them to the next page. And it's cool because you're getting all kinds of experience. You're getting the reading experience, you're getting, and of course the book is about, I think it's called F is for flag. so it's a rather elementary book. It's not a big tome, but it should be pretty fun because it will take the people through the actual flag display. And it should be very interesting. I'm hoping to get some neat pictures of families and kids and whatever doing the thing. And Michelle
cool.
Shaw is in charge of putting that together. Thank you, Michelle. And it should be that's definitely different. We will be having the kids' activities. We'll be having we're having a special sort of nature. Not climate, nature, seedlings, composting kind of thing that
Kind of
kids can get
activity.
into.
That's cool.
And actually, my granddaughter's teacher is going to come, and she's doing something called Red, White, and Blue in Nature.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, it's kind of a little quiz puzzle game thing, and that'll be fun.
Great.
And we have three returning musicians and one new musician who happens to be you.
Yes, I'll be there, and I'm very excited to be performing. And thank you for the opportunity. It just sounded so cool. When you reached out in the past, I remember when you first started this. When you reached out, I was still up in Albany in college. I was working, doing whatever. So it's awesome to finally be able to be a part of this event. So
Well, thank you. It'll be fun. I wish we'd get people there. Last year we had more. Well, not the last time. We say last year, but we mean the last time we had it. Yeah. We had more than the first time, but it's still not enough, And I mean, there's a bunch of people in Hyde Park on Memorial Day weekend, and there's a bunch of people that are there all year, and it'd be nice if they knew about it. And we try, we try as best we can to get people to find out about it, and this is certainly a help. Thank you so much for this.
Of course.
But and it's free.
There you go. And besides
it's
myself,
right in town.
And besides myself, you said there's going to be some other entertainers,
Oh,
returning
yes,
entertainers.
Yes. And two of the groups contain Hyde Park people, and that's also kind of my vision is to try to keep it a really hometown celebration. Eric Garrison is a member of Flash Company, which is a Irish type band, and they're going to be there. And Kevin and Carol Becker are play in a group called This Is Us, and they are also Hyde Park people. And the third is Ethan Campbell, who I'm not sure how I found him. I think I found him through the folk. What are they called? Hudson Valley Folk Guild.
Hudson Valley Folk Guild.
Yeah.
Very familiar with those guys.
Yeah.
Done a lot of work with them.
And he just. He seemed very excited about it, and he just wrote me back and said, "Oh, I'm very excited to do it again. I love to help support your cause." And I'm like, "Oh, gee, that's really sweet. I like hearing that kind of thing."
Oh, of course. Now, coming out of COVID, of course, and getting back into all of these activities and all that, why do you feel that this event is so important to the community, especially with being delayed for a couple years now?
Well, I think we just need to get the community back together again.
Yeah.
I mean, people are still seeing small groups of people, but this is totally outside, so it'll be, there's no no problem with any kind of communication of bad things. What we hope to communicate are all good things, that, we're still here. And we also would like people to be more aware of the foundation and what we do for the schools. So, I think it's important that we return the event to its original place and time, and try to get our foundation a little bit more well known, so that we can continue to have successful events, not just fundraisers, just events for the school.
No, absolutely understandable, and I love what it is bringing. 100% what you're saying of bringing the community back out, because a lot of people are timid, a lot of people are unsure, and a lot of people don't know about a number of things going on. So definitely to draw people back out, which is a great thing. Right now, you are listening to In Touch with Conor Walsh here, and we are talking with Laurie Woolever, the president of the Hyde Park Education Foundation, and we're talking about the Memorial Day celebration Field of Honor that's going on at the FDR Roosevelt Home Memorial Day weekend. And one thing that I just was thinking as you're talking, have you ever watched the show Big Bang Theory with Sheldon Cooper on it?
Just a couple of times.
He has this web series on the show, Fun with Flags. He would have a field day with this kind of event. Absolutely would love it.
I had no idea.
Yes. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no. So I was thinking about that, especially with the tours, tours through the flags and all that. I was just thinking he would be freaking out.
Fun with
flags. Another thing that you mentioned was how you wanted to be able to use this event to gain more awareness for the Hyde Park Education Foundation. And could you just tell us a little bit of that background of what the foundation does for anybody unaware?
Right. Well, the foundation actually has a long history. It was first founded in I think 2000. I wish I had that right in front of me. But it was first founded in 2000, and it was kind of it was meant to be a sort of a short-term thing to help fund the new windows that were going into Haviland.
Okay.
But it was successful, and I guess it really didn't have a vision of going and doing anything else, so it just kind of petered out. But Dr. Greer Reichik, who was the superintendent of the schools at the time in 2017, she said to herself she really wanted to have a foundation happen again, but with a more broad spectrum of concerns, not just wanting to raise money for a capital project. And I don't know how she got a hold of or had a connection with, but she asked David Roosevelt, who happens to be Franklin's grandson and lives in the school district and had children in the school district at the time.
Wow.
She said, "Hey, David, how would you like to be the president of the re-establishment of the Hyde Park Education Foundation?" And he did. And so we had a big opening event at the Wallace Center, and it was neat. So we do not raise money for windows. What we raise money for is we give teacher grants. Mm-hmm. We give the teachers apply with an idea for a special activity for their classroom, special funding for objects for the classroom, but also special funding for research. And one class, elementary school class, wrote a book and had it published.
Oh wow, that's so neat.
Yeah. So teachers do grants. Last year we established a senior scholarship and $1,000, and we're going to be doing that again this year. And we're changing the focus every year. It's not always for someone going into, blah, blah. This year it's nursing.
Oh,
Last year it was secondary education. So, we take a look at what we think is a good, yeah. And needed.
Yes.
Because we know that there's a lot of holes in the nursing profession that need to be filled. We also have something called Hyde Park Hyde Park Education Foundation ACTS, which is award to celebrate teachers and staff, and we have a way that people can donate to the foundation and honor a staff member.
That's
in their
good.
name, and we're working on that. We've also just done some fun things, like we had a movie morning at the Roosevelt Theater a long time ago. We saw Romeo and Juliet.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, and then we've also had an interesting, successful fundraiser. It was a beer tasting through Zoom, through the New York State Brewers Association. We called it the Great.
Work then?
Oh, it was great. It was called the Great Hyde Park Tasting Show, and the Brewers Association organized the whole thing. All I had to do was send them the names of places, and they got it all together, and people ordered their beers, and we're going to do it again because I've gotten some really positive feedback.
That's fantastic.
So,
please let us know about that. That sounds like
I
a great
will.
time.
I will. So that we are there for kids and teachers. That's all we do.
No, and that's
all we do. It's everything we do, and it's the most important thing.
No, it is very important, especially these days, how education has really been rocked recently, and with political climate, but then also just the social climate after COVID and everything. So many places we're always just talking about COVID, but the thing is, it's changed everything from moving forward. So what is, based off what you've seen and heard, how do you feel that COVID has affected the Hyde Park School District in the last 2 years, and where do you see things going?
Well, I can't say really what's affected the Hyde Park School District specifically, but what I can see in general is that everybody's tired.
Yes.
Everybody's frustrated. Kids are not dealing with their own emotions as well, I think, and probably teachers are too regarding school. Kids, basically all kids do is school.
Yeah.
Well, not all, but a lot. Should be a lot of what they do.
It's a second home.
Yes. Sometimes better than the real one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing. They're talking about eliminating the free meals, because they get free meals now.
That's
Everybody does.
difficult.
And if they eliminate the free meals, some kids are going to be really in trouble.
Yeah.
I get emotional about that. I just think that that we need to make everybody feel safe.
Yeah.
No matter what, and that at school is a place where they can talk to anyone about anything.
I feel that 100%. One thing in particular, when the shutdown happened, I was a senior in college, and I went through an experience that I felt like I could use some help with. So for the first time in my collegiate career, I was going to go to the counseling center. But then the shutdown happened, and then I lost that resource. And I just had this conversation with somebody recently. It's like how different I probably would have been able to process a few of those things should I have had the counseling center as a better resource, because they were figuring it out with the pandemic. And I'm sure that's something that a lot of people could have used and can still use as we're still sorting out this trauma. It's just based off everything that you're saying, it just sounds like we need to be able to have those conversations and have a good space in order to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I also think we need to teach the parents at home how to do it when the kids aren't in school.
Yes.
Because the parents need the help as much as the kids do.
Yeah. I'm in my mid-20s right now, and I've learned that, when I was little, I thought adults had all the answers, and now I've learned is like, no, we're just all improvising the entire time.
We are.
Oh, but and we're figuring it out as we go along, but giving said resources to people makes such a difference in just any job, whatever that might be, working in a school or working as a parent. That's a job that you can't leave. That's 24/7 right there. But that's very important. And this is all very important to you, as we mentioned early on. You're a retired teacher from the Hyde Park School District. So could you tell us some of your background working in the district?
Oh, wow. Well, I started teaching in 1978 when I graduated from Fredonia. And I started at the high school teaching music. And after a little while, I taught part-time at Haviland and Roosevelt. And then eventually I got full-time back to Roosevelt. I taught everything from seventh grade chorus to advanced placement music theory, as far as choral, and we also have a piano class at the high school, which is very cool. I taught that, and I did maybe 15 musicals over the years, and I had a cappella groups. I had the First Ladies and
very nice,
and all the President's Men, and yeah, that's what I did.
And that's really cool because, a lot of the stuff that you worked on, I just missed you in schools.
Sorry.
I just missed you, but fortunately we got to meet through your son, Doug, and I was working with Doug on a number of things was great because he too, him and I, we were in a lot of the same stuff, the choruses, the plays and all of that, and just the legacy that you're able to roll out with that. And it's appreciated to somebody like me, and I know there's many other people who appreciate everything that has been rolled out. Kind of back on the line of improvising, there's always so much improvising in music and all that. Being a music teacher and being so ingrained in the arts, what is it about the arts that is so important to education, especially right now?
Whew. Well, I've always been bothered by the people that say, "Oh well, the arts are good because it's math, or and you can learn about science, or you can learn about English." I'm like, no, the arts are because you can learn about art, because art is something that gives people support, when none of the other subjects can. There are some kids, and there are some kids that are good in music that aren't good in anything else. So the music is their life. Music is why they come to school, and art's the same thing. Anything. If we had drama, if we had dance, if we had those kind of things at Roosevelt, which would be great.
Yeah, true.
It's not just a support system for the rest of the what people call the academic subjects. Music and art are their own thing, and they belong. They should belong to everybody, and they don't. They should belong to more people, really, but a lot of people don't see the value. But if you know anyone or have anyone in your family who is a musician, you know what it means to them. I can't describe it. I'll get all verklempt again. But it's just, the things that music can do for you personally, and the things that music can do for you when you share it with other people, whether you perform it for other people or whether you perform it with other people, like in a chorus. You cannot have those experiences with any other, quote, academic, unquote, subject.
Yeah.
People don't get together and have a math reunion. I mean, well, maybe they do, but I've got people. Oh, that's the other thing. The end of the entertainment on Monday after the parade is a alumni chorus. And I've got people. I've got a student and her daughter that were both my students.
Wow.
Yeah. Rhiannon Fleet.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And her mom, Rebecca.
Very
Noel
nice.
Fleet. Yeah. They're both singing. And I can't imagine if I was a social studies teacher, I'd say, "Hey, everybody, let's get together." And no offense to social studies teachers, but it's just the way that people bond in the arts is different.
Yes.
Because we have something that we can't talk about. It's in there. And when you're singing with somebody that you just know it, you just kind of look at each other, or you don't look at each other. You're next to them. Of course, we can't be close to them anymore. That may change, but it's still the same. The feeling is still the same.
Yes, without a doubt. Because the arts, music, I've always felt is certainly the universal language because it expresses emotions better than any form of communication I'm aware of. Mm-hmm. And whether through harmony, through unison, whatever, it just brings people together in a certain way. And yes, I know all the musical terms. for instance, I was I went up to my college not that long ago to see a few of the recitals, and it was just phenomenal to see these people who I saw enter college, grow and all that. And one of them was even what we call a night for a day. He shadowed me before he came to the college, and here he was with his senior recital, and I'm just there like, I'm so proud. But the strength, the growth, the community, all that it builds is truly something that's unparalleled in my opinion. And I think that's great, and that's something that you've seen in your own sons. We mentioned Doug, but your other son is very accomplished in music and the arts as well.
Yeah, he's rings around me. He really is. That's Matthew.
Yes,
who is presently teaching science, but teaching lessons. I was at his house last night because I was watching my granddaughter, and he went from a voice lesson to a bass lesson, and then he also teaches piano lessons. I think he's going to be starting teaching cello lessons. If it's got a string on it, he can play it.
Versatility.
And he can teach it to you, and of course, voice is his specialty as well. So.
No, that's fantastic, and I just love how all the components can come together and be synthesized with everything. You guys have been listening to In Touch. I am Conor Walsh, and I am sitting down with Laurie Woolever, president of the Hyde Park Education Foundation, talking about the Hyde Park School District, upcoming events. And speaking of upcoming events, going back to the Field of Honor event, could you tell us what are the exact dates for everybody, just so they're sure, and where can they go for more information and how to donate and whatnot?
All righty. Our website is www.hydeparkeducationfoundation.org, and there's information there about how you could donate. You could purchase a flag. You could dedicate a flag. It's all there. We open on Saturday, May 28th, which is my birthday.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. It will be at 10 o'clock, and we're having an opening ceremony. And then we're open until 5, and then the next day, Sunday, we'll be open at 10, and we're closed at 5. And then the next day, Monday, which is the 30th, the parade sort of takes precedence, but we'll be there if you want to come walk through the flags during the parade. That's fine. And then at 2 o'clock, after the ceremony at the Rose Garden, because there's always a ceremony at the Rose Garden right there, at the home of Franklin D. Roosevelt National Historic Site. At 2 o'clock is the alumni chorus show.
That should be a lot of fun. And then for anybody who's interested in what the Hyde Park Education Foundation does, such as like the teacher grants, the scholarships, the awards that you've mentioned, anything, where can they check out more information about that?
Well, that's on the website too. There's also a lot of information and pictures and information on our Facebook page. We have a neat Facebook page, and we have a fledgling Instagram account.
Starting up.
It's starting up. But the website, the Facebook page, and starting up with the Instagram. That's where we are.
That is phenomenal. Laurie, thank you so much for coming on, talking to us about all of this, and we hope to see all of you guys listening
come
at those
out.
events. That's
Come, it's
fantastic. It's free. We love free.
It's in Hyde Park.
For In Touch, I'm Conor Walsh, and as always, I'm glad we get to spend some time.